My daughter said, "Mom's new husband actually believes in me. You never did." So I cut off her rent, insurance, and $10,000 trip fund. A week later, her support system ghosted her. It's strange how one sentence can unravel years of memories. My daughter, Alyssa, looked me square in the eye and said, "You've never supported me like Mom's new husband does. He actually believes in me." I didn't raise my voice. I didn't argue. I just nodded, stood up from the couch, and walked into the kitchen, more out of habit than anything. She was 19, technically an adult, and I wasn't going to beg her to see me differently. But inside, yeah, it stung more than I expected. I'm 45. I've raised Alyssa mostly on my own since she was 5. Her mother, Trina, walked out on us one afternoon like it was an errand. Said she needed to find herself in Bali. I didn't fight it. Someone who could leave that easily. I wasn't about to drag her back. So I stepped up, took 2 jobs, gave up nights out, canceled vacations, didn't upgrade my car for a decade. But Alyssa? She had everything she needed, sometimes more. Art school? Paid in full. Therapy after her high school breakup? Covered. I even co-signed her apartment lease when she wanted to live closer to campus. I never made a show of it. Never asked for praise. I just did it. Because that's what parents are supposed to do. Then 2 months ago, Trina came back, newly married to a guy named Kyle. An ex-startup bro who reinvented himself as a conscious masculinity mentor, or something equally vague. He drives a Tesla, quotes Tony Robbins, and wears beaded necklaces. Told Alyssa I'd kept her trapped in a structured reality. Suddenly, she was spending weekends at their place, sipping kale smoothies, taking breathwork classes, and sharing aligned energy moments on Instagram. I stayed quiet. She's grown. She can reconnect with her mom however she wants. But last week, we sat down for dinner at my place. Same table I'd saved up to buy when she was 10, and she dropped that line. "Kyle believes in me." You never really did. She didn't yell it. Just said it like a truth she'd been holding in. Said Kyle wanted to sponsor a creative retreat in Tulum for her. Said I had never encouraged that kind of growth. That I was holding her back with my fear-based parenting. I didn't argue. I just said, "Okay, you're right. You're grown now. And grown people take care of themselves." She blinked, like she didn't expect that. And the next morning, while she was still at yoga, I made a few changes. Would you have responded differently if your daughter suddenly decided her mother's new husband was more of a parent than you? Or was I right to let her feel the weight of her words? By the time Alyssa got back from her sound bath and intuitive journaling session, I'd already logged into every account I'd been quietly covering. First up, the apartment lease. I called the landlord and told him I was pulling out as co-signer. She could stay, of course, but the next rent payment wouldn't be coming from me. Next, her cell plan. Removed her from the family account. She'd been using that iPhone to post reels about shedding generational trauma, so it only felt right to let her pay for her own wireless freedom. Then I contacted our insurance provider. She was 19. Legally, I could remove her from my health plan, so I did. Not as a punishment, but as a form of respect. She wanted independence. I wasn't going to hold her hostage with benefits. Lastly, I paused the $10,000 I'd saved and earmarked for her Italy design workshop next summer. I'd worked weekends for nearly a year to pull that together. It stayed in my account now, on hold. No announcement. No drama. That night, she came over for dinner like nothing had changed. She talked about Kyle's vibration work and how he encouraged her to take risks without fear of failure. I just listened. It wasn't until 3 days later, when her rent bounced, that the fireworks started. My phone rang nonstop. "Alyssa first. You canceled the apartment? Are you serious right now?" I told her calmly. I didn't cancel it. I just stopped paying for it. That's different. This is retaliation. I opened up to you, and you're punishing me for it. I paused before responding. You said you were growing past my kind of support. I'm just giving you the space to explore that. She hung up. Then came the wave. Trina called an hour later, voice sharp, like I'd cut off her utilities. "You're being cruel." She's exploring who she is. Kyle is helping her expand. "You're just jealous." Jealous. Of Kyle, the man who gave himself the title Conscious Polarity Advisor and wore sunglasses indoors. I didn't take the bait. Then I got the email. From Qley. For paragraphs of pseudopsychology and vague coaching jargon. He said I was creating a trauma loop by withholding resources and that I needed to step into the version of fatherhood that transcends control. He even attached a PDF called The New Masculine Archetype. I didn't respond. The next day, Alyssa posted a reel titled, Breaking Generational Chains, When Your Parent Becomes Your Prison. The video was black and white. She wore all white. There was dramatic music. The caption read, "Sometimes your father isn't your family." The comments? A mix of "so proud of you, babe," and "girl, your dad paid for your rent and art school." I watched it once, then logged off. I wasn't angry. I was tired. She wanted freedom, so I gave it to her. And sometimes, real support doesn't look like encouragement. It looks like silence. About a week after the reel, the post stopped. No smoothie selfies. No sunset yoga montages. No cryptic alignment quotes about growth and freedom. Just silence. Then, at 2:13 a.m. on a Thursday morning, my phone buzzed. It was a message from Alyssa. Hey, is it okay if I come home for a bit? No emojis. No spiritual language. Just 12 quiet words. I didn't answer right away. Not to be cold. I just needed to think about how I wanted to respond. When I did, I kept it simple. Of course. Rent's $300 a month. Dishes are yours. Wi-Fi comes with chores. I expected a delay. Maybe a pushback. But 2 minutes later, she replied. Okay, I'll be there in the morning. She arrived around 10 a.m. Hair tied up, hoodie zipped halfway, duffel bag in hand. She didn't say much. Just stood in the doorway for a second before stepping inside. I was making coffee. She looked around like the place had shrunk since she'd left. Then she sat down at the kitchen table and said, softly, Tulum didn't happen. Turns out that creative retreat Kyle had promised to fund came with strings. The money was only available if she enrolled in his 6-week Feminine Energetics and Leadership course and agreed to co-host his podcast. When she asked for no strings attached, the offer vanished. Trina didn't push back. She thought it was a miscommunication and told Alyssa to trust the process. Alyssa tried staying with him a few more nights after that. But apparently, Kyle's alignment coaching started feeling more like control. He had notes on her voice tone, her wardrobe, her social media captions. He wanted her to delete old posts that didn't match his brand of conscious partnership. That's when she texted me. She moved back in that morning. We didn't have a deep talk right away. I didn't need one. I gave her fresh sheets, showed her where the laundry basket was, and left her be. That night, she helped me make dinner. Chopped onions while I stirred sauce. Nothing fancy. Just us in the kitchen like it used to be. At one point, without looking up, she said, I didn't get it before. Everything you did, it wasn't about control. It was about showing up. I kept stirring. Kyle talks a lot. But you never talked. You just paid the bills. Showed up to everything. Let me fail and helped me back up without saying, I told you so. Still, I didn't say much. Just nodded. That was enough. Since then, it's been normal. Which is maybe the best possible outcome. She pays me rent now, not the full amount, but enough to understand what groceries and water bills actually cost. She does the dishes without being reminded. We split cooking duties. And sometimes, late at night, we sit and talk. Not about the past. Not even about Kyle. Just life. The future. What she wants to do with it. We're rebuilding, one quiet evening at a time. I don't hold grudges. That's not parenting. Parenting, I've realized, isn't about being right or winning. It's about standing still while they pull away and being there when they realize they want to come back. So what do you think? Was I too harsh for cutting things off? Or was it the wake-up call she needed? Have you ever had to let someone you love fall just so they could stand up on their own?